information you have, the better the decisions. Data is crucial to do important decisions in Dota games and even before the Dota game in preparation. I think it's really cool that a big company like SAP is investing into esports, and that I can be a part of it is amazing.
Coming into this series, a lot of things were uncertain, but one thing was an absolute fact. We wanted to see it go to Game 3, and now we're going to get it. We're all tied up. VP against Secret, some of the best Dota that we've gotten to see here in China. My name is Rich. I'm going to be your host, and I'm joined by Nahaz and Fog. And let's talk about what we actually saw this time around. The draft kept us on our toes, and the game didn't disappoint. So let's talk about the strategy that we actually saw these guys break out. Obviously, in the first game, Secret does some really crazy stuff. What happens this time around, Nahaz?
I'm going to give you two stat lines from that game, Rich.
Okay.
So 8, 3, and 11, 8 kills, 3 deaths, 11 assists, 16.4k hero damage, right? Pretty good. That's Ramsey's AM.
Okay.
9, 1, and 20, 16.2k hero damage.
Solo.
Pretty good. That's Solo's Lich.
Lich.
How much? That's like 200 less.
What?
He owned. He actually. I felt like I felt so much impact even between like little sinister gazes. Not even just saying like his damage. Like here, I felt like so many times he was able to make a pretty big impact on this. I think he ends up actually dying here, but he doesn't actually. He doesn't.
No, that's fine. You're right.
I think the troll dies at the end. Yeah, the troll dies from the burning spears.
But so we talk about the Lich having this just crazily unexpected high impact. Where was the Huskar?
He was. Yeah, he did not have a great game. I actually think that this last pick. This is the other game. I was so confused for a second.
I was
That
too.
was the last game.
Okay.
I was like,
this game was
that was
crazy.
good.
This game was,
Yeah, this
watch
game
this
was-
game if you didn't see it.
this is a dope Elder Titan game. But yeah, it did seem like the Huskar got
Okay, this is
completely
the
shut
right
down.
game.
This is the right
Perfect.
game. And I felt like this troll pick was perfect. I felt like every single time I saw Secret making a move, they were trying to kill this troll. And he was just getting his ulti off time after time. And they didn't have the damage to deal with it.
I also still feel like Rogers, like 4 of his first 5 RPs were just god tier, and that set the table for so much. I mean, they had a couple of these fights where the RP was perfect, and it led to a kill on Huskar. And Huskar, one of the drawbacks to that hero is he's a snowballer, right? I mean, his up to that fight mid, his net worth graph was just do, and then all of a sudden it just flattened.
Yeah. This was one of the bigger like turning fights. I think this was after there was one before that we saw actually. That was the one that led into the Roshan. That was pretty big for VP. They get like a huge turnaround.
You're like a 20-minute fight mid.
Yeah.
That was.
And then this is the other big one. Like you said, look at mid one's farm. And then they were looking another 3 minutes later and look at mid one's farm still. It's just it completely stagnated.
And
in
the
this
build, he actually went brown boots, wand, 2 bracers, right into halberd.
No armlet. Yeah, so his damage is extremely limited. So that means their damage in their draft. I saw Yapsor did like top 3 damage in this game or top 4 damage in this game somehow anyways, the Rubik, but their damage in this game is coming from Rubik and Terrorblade then, because your Huskar's not dealing nearly as much.
You both just said no armlet and sync. So obviously it's something that you wanted to see. Secret has already proven time and time again, even within this series, that they have very much thought out what they're doing here. So why do you think we don't see the armlet? Why do you think we see more defensive item builds being selected by, let's be honest, a team with 5 bajillion IQ?
I mean, I would like that build a little bit more if the troll had gotten really pooped on in the early game, because then you just armlet the AM and the damage, it's nothing.
No, that was
but
what you're into.
But the troll had a pretty free game. There's two games in a row where that mid lane has gone a little bit different than we've expected, and it's just a huge impact throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you see this Huskar pick, it's like, damn, his lane is just gonna crush the lane, and that wasn't the case. Here we see, of course, Roger getting another extremely successful RP. And maybe, sometimes we see Magnus picked every game in the beginning of the tournament, middle of the tournament doesn't get picked at all again, and then grand finals or whatever, we're going to see Magnus picked every game.
Yeah.
But he did just have a spectacular performance, and they prioritized him. I saw Pasha was not farming the lane. They literally gave Roger a blink dagger. He had brown boots blink at the 12, 13, 14-minute mark, something like that.
And the funny thing was, he actually didn't get that much out of the blink reveal. Like, he blinked onto Grimstroke on the dire side high ground, and it was like, okay, we're like, oh, wow, is that going to pay off? Yeah, it did.
So what was the average game time for VP? Was theirs 32 or was it Secrets?
VP, 32.
VP's was 32.
Yeah.
So they won in 32 this game, and Secret won in 34 last game, according to their same average.
Wow.
That's actually that's pretty cool.
Explain that in numbers, Nahaz.
I want to bounce something off you guys instead.
Yeah, let's
I
hear
feel like game 1 was largely about the draft, and I feel like game 2 was much, much, much more about execution.
About the play, yeah. I think there was a couple situations where the targeting for me from Secret seemed a little weird, because there was a Lich, and they were going really hard on this Troll Warlord, and he I mean, no one did the most damage in the game. He was getting focus fired, and he would just survive and pop his ulti and then turn the fight.
Well, also, how many liches have we seen throughout the entirety of this tournament, and how many have we seen go off like that, right? I think execution definitely is one of the most important things to look at. And amongst these two teams, that is something that you do expect. But, let's talk about the compositions just a little bit more, because I have some questions about AM. This is the one that we've gone back and forth on the desk so many times. This is one of the successful iterations of AM in our tournament. What is it about this hero that has made it fall on its face so many times?
Okay, so let me give you the like not me answer. Let me give you like the super simple answer.
Okay.
The super simple answer is that AM is awesome when he does not have to be the focus. Okay? Troll was the focus in this game. He was the hero that Secret was going on. If AM is free in the fights and free to farm on his side of the map, he's just a great hero.
Well, now I kind of want to hear the you answer. I want to hear the Nahaz answer now.
The Nahaz answer is boring and involves lots of numbers.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah,
Well,
okay.
he
Changed
did
my
have
mind.
he did have pressure.
Exactly.
He had pressure removed from himself. That's
exactly.
one of the big things. So just like the last game, we were talking about how Secret's draft had too many targets that VP had to address. This time now is VP's draft that had too many targets for Secret to address.
And now we're going to have to see what happens in the next draft. I do want to talk about Magnus, though, what we just saw for our MVP. You already touched him on the fact. We see a bunch of it at the beginning of the tournament, dies down in the middle, and now towards the end, we're seeing it again. How often does something like that really happen?
I think that happens a good amount of tournaments.
Pretty frequent?
Yes, it does. It does. And I think, again, a lot of it has to do with the laning meta in this tournament. Magnus is not something that you want in a tri lane, full stop. And I think part of this tournament is that VP were part of this game, this last draft, VP were pretty confident that they knew what the lanes were going to be.
Yeah. And now going into the next one, it's going to be so exciting, because I do feel like both of these games were just so different, but they were so fantastic to watch, right? Nahaz touches upon the idea that if you missed the first game, you need to go watch it. It was one of the most insane drafts that we've ever seen. We see 5 melee on the side of Secret. It is fantastic to watch. Then we get down to another draft, which is also crazy, but that's not the determining factor. It all comes down to the execution. Now walking into the third game, my goodness, let's get this draft started. I just cannot wait to see what direction these two teams go. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just I'm thinking about like these 4 positions, and this one we did have like the team fighters coming up, but this one now is a Magnus where he doesn't provide you a whole lot in the laning phase, but his team fight prowess is absolutely insane.
Well, but we also talk about Secret so often playing the 2 position 3.5s. VP actually does that too. Now we don't talk as much about it because the numbers get skewed, because when VP give Pasha farm, they tend to give him a lot of farm. But he can play sacrificially, and you saw. I mean, the Doom in the early part of that game was not getting that much, right? They gave a lot of farm prior to that Magnus, and I thought that was really smart.
Now, for anyone who is just tuning in, they want to see the last game of the day. They want to see the first team to go to the grand final. What are the trends that we've seen early on in this draft? Even though they were very different drafts, we've seen some preferences come out. We've seen some unique bans come out. So for anyone just coming in, let's catch them up to speed. Nahaz, what have we seen in the first 2 games?
So let me answer a slightly different question. This is me being a professor, and talk about today as a whole, because one of the things that we've seen today is we've seen many more core picks in the first 2, right? Throughout the tournament, Deuce is snuck in there, Terrorblade snuck in there, but we're seeing a lot more cores show up in the first 2. Maybe in the spirit of less information given away, but maybe just teams recognizing that the support matchups are really key.
I didn't even know I wanted that question answered. I did. Thank you. That was much better.
Good.
There you go.
I mean, come on. 17 years of lecturing have to come for something, right?
This is the first time I've ever done this. A+, Nahaz.
Well, thank you, sir.
A+. All right, we're going to see the bands coming in now. Taking a peek here. My eyes aren't what they used
Magnus
to be.
is taken out now.
Magnus, yeah.
Magnus
like
out.
last game,
Io still in. Nobody touching
I
it.
see an Elder Titan. He's not banned right now. Is VP going to take it out?
You have to believe they do.
Also, I will say Undying, not banned this time.
This time he's not. This is true.
I still don't see. I don't know. The numbers on that hero are not impressive, and I don't see these teams valuing it.
I think the only... did it come down
It is
to
a solo hero, but...
Yeah. Did it come down to the fact, though, that crazy strategy maybe came out in the first game, and we aren't going to see it anymore?
Again, I still feel like, as neat as that first draft was, I still feel like
it was an
if you gave Secret... If you gave VP another game against a draft like that, they'd be able to address it.
They didn't play perfectly. They just got kind of I mean, Secret played really well that game.
And ET is out.
And ET is definitely out. Yeah.
And to take it one step further, though, the criticism that you've had of both of these teams in the games that they lost is they've had a hard time actually targeting. A very interesting trend within our series.
You know, it's funny though. That's true, and we do talk about it as Grimstroke will once again be the first pick for Team Secret, who has had first pick. Now, what is it? Gosh, 11 out of the 14 games that they've played here. But yeah, I mean, some of the when we talk about struggling with target priority, some of that is what the other team is doing.
Yeah, no,
some
absolutely.
of that is forced errors.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it shows the level of Dota that we're actually watching right now as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Grimstroke, though, pretty basic pick coming out here.
You gotta think they're gonna go back to Lich.
Lich, yeah. I mean, the Lich was so commanding by Solo. Just everything he did in that game. He was in the right place at the right time pretty much every single time. With the Sinister Gaze, with Chain Frosts, Frost Shields, everything.
And I still really, if you're gonna go more like an open like we've seen today, I still really like Lich Centaur as an open.
It would be a deny pick kind of too, right? Because you can imagine that Secret could still be looking at that Centaur. Even if they lost at that last game, that Grim Centaur is a combo that we've seen all throughout the tournament.
Exactly.
A little bit of time.
Yeah, tapping into that reserve nice and early here.
Man, they've completely destroyed our 100% pick ban.
Yeah, for IO, yeah.
It's gone. It's just ruined.
But again, that's what you get when you have, I don't even think really arguably the two best teams in the tournament in the winners bracket final. These are the teams that define the meta.
Yeah.
And we've also seen beyond defining the meta, also having an idea what the other teams do want to be playing quite a bit. That's why some of the bans have looked unconventional.
They are taking a lot of time here. This could be the discussion of, do we want to try the IO?
Yep.
It could be. They're like, if we lose this game, we're not out. Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, it's exactly the discussion. I knew it.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it has to be because you're playing. You're like, all right, we're preparing not just for this, and they're not doing the gyro because they don't want to get more flinged.
But I asked this question on an earlier panel with Lacoste. At what point do you start to value the IO Luna over the IO gyro? I just think IO Luna is sick.
The 114 build, right?
Yes.
You go the max aura. Yeah, and
it's
everybody's so tanky. Your IO benefits what? You get 26 bonus stat, 24 bonus stats on your IO from it.
I mean, look at it, right? You can so Tusk and Earthspirit are two of the heroes, and ET, three of the heroes that I really like with that are gone because they tank up so much from the aura, but still.
So the one thing is, though, now soul bind, you're gonna get successful soul binds pretty much every single time on the side of Secret.
So do you just snap pick Lich here?
They could. It could be pretty damn strong.
I mean, that seems like against an IO lineup.
Oh, I'm so cool. It's so cool they pick it because they're probably like, we're potentially playing Secret in the finals. We might as well.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't our elimination game. This is where you get to experiment and be like, you know what? Let's do the IO. Let's try our strat.
That is such a crazy thing to be thinking about here is the fact that when you're drafting, you have to almost assume this is going to be your opponent in the grand final.
Yeah.
I think both of these teams believe that if we go from each other, and there you go. There's the big difference for today is that you're seeing these cores much more prevalent. You know, support core opens.
Yep. All right.
This has just been a roller
I
coaster.
gotta say though, I don't know about Medusa against the IO Luna.
There was a while where people were picking the Medusa versus the Luna, and I remember people were theory crafting the remember you get the Aghanims is actually great on the Luna. Now you're getting given one for free, so that could actually be something we could look into. That just throwing the Eclipse onto somebody onto the Deuce in the back lines.
Absolutely. I mean, Lispit's level 15. And
yeah, could be cool.
Why are you concerned about the Medusa though here, Nahas?
For exactly the reason that Fog just said. I don't think that Medusa used to be something that you would go to against the Luna because Medusa could turn Mana Shield on and she could soak up a lot of that Eclipse damage. But now once IO hits level 15, which he's going to do because he's got the talent, you're going to get the Ag Scepter for the Luna, and all of a sudden Medusa can have Mana Shield on all she wants.
A lot of damage. It just goes right through.
That Lich getting banned now.
Yeah.
Really
there's no way you let that go against
surprised.
a team with a Grimstroke for the second phase.
I guess it's like, if we don't grab the Deuce here, it's getting banned, right?
Oh, for sure.
It was the choice.
100%.
It's like, do we take Lich or do we take Deuce? And their decision was, I think we trust Nisha and Deuce. So.
And it could be a flex pick. The biggest issue, has been mid one was on a hero that he could just run around the map, creating all the space he wanted in game one. He was so free in those fights, and all of a sudden in game two, like mid one, he struggles in his lane, and in these fights, he's just down to like 20% HP in the first few seconds of the fight. And even Husker's huge regen doesn't feel that effective.
Okay, so the war cry. I
Okay,
also really
and
like this.
very, very, very important. Again, if there is a team that I want to see potentially a core Sven, it is VP. Pasha is an excellent Sven. Ramses is still an excellent Sven, although we think he's going to be on the Luna this game.
He's definitely the Luna this game.
Oh, I
yeah.
would be shocked if this were mid Luna, but I feel like I got to at least throw it out there.
Yeah.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, but no, it can definitely be the offlaner. I do like that as well. So double Mystic Snake is something that can be pretty intimidating. Just a mana burn.
E-man, all blue.
Huh.
That's
Taking blue. They love they've loved this.
Are we blue? Come on, blue versus green hype.
Blue versus
we're getting
Come
there.
on.
We're getting there.
Yeah, but they've loved this Sven even before they changed it. Remember they were
Yes,
picking it at, what was it? It was Hamburg? They were picking it versus when Drow was being picked every game. They were picking
yeah.
Sven support, and people were like, what the hell? And
Oh,
it
they
worked.
were still, they were still picking it. Like, I think they picked it once at Birmingham last year. Like, they were experimenting with this hero. Okay, and absolutely nobody's surprised.
Yeah, of course. How could you be surprised? It's
Yeah.
green.
Oh, yeah, by the way, with, oh, no, they lost the last game, so that doesn't apply. He needs one more win to get to 46 wins on Rubik, which would put him tied with Bulldog's Prophet for top 5 winningest LAN
10 seconds
hero player
remaining.
combinations all time.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. So that can happen this game.
That could happen
Could
this
happen
game?
this game. So the Rubik this game, they've got the combo again with the Grimstroke, the double lift, double nukes, and all that. They've got, I mean, some decent spells too. The Sven stun is great. Even Warcry. You're going to get good spells from Sven.
Okay, so I think you're favoring the Sven as a support here, Fogg? Or you like it as a core? That's what because that's what I need to know.
I think,
I
I, think I might like it as a core, just because you have
Oh,
the
he's a
aura from
3
the
a lot.
Luna. This Sven is going to be so beefy if he is a
Everybody's
core.
gonna be beefy
gonna,
as
I
hell.
think they're just going to pick strength heroes now, right? Just to benefit from that aura.
What's the downside
But what's
of
maybe
putting
not.
Sven in the core role?
Team secrets turn to tip.
Okay, well, they're not going to.
No, Dawn, not so fast, not so fast. That could easily be support brew.
I would prefer a support Sven now. Because it makes their tri-lane stronger.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, their
Never
lane
mind, never
can be
mind.
like so weak.
You're
I think if
absolutely
you have
right.
a Sven, Luna, Io, it makes your lane strong.
You're absolutely right.
If you have a Brew, Io, Luna, it doesn't sound nearly as good.
Yeah, that's a really good call,
5
and that's
seconds
100% correct.
So Brew into the Rubik. They have an instant disable for it. They also
Okay.
have the Phantom.
And
They're gonna do it themselves. They're doing it. They're okay. So they have the
again,
they have the Dusa and they take the Slark for themselves.
when you talk about these strats that sort of revolve around just extending the fights, drawing them out, everybody gets so beefy, everybody tanks up. I mean, this is why Slark became a pick in metas where we've had like Dragon Knight carry all the time, right?
5
It's just
seconds
all
remaining.
about his lane.
I mean, they've got a lot of damage soaked though with Warcry. If he can actually, I don't know. That one feels for me. I'm not too sure because even the last game too, I was like Slark. It made sense as the game progressed, but in this one, it feels like it's harder. Because sure, he can take a lot of stats, but how are they gonna actually kill anybody? I feel like their damage is really limited.
So you're worried about damage right now.
Worried about damage on the side of Secret.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way, Nahaz, or are you
I
looking
think
for damage?
I think I do, right? Because the Medusa ramps up damage-wise. She ramps up so much more slowly than something like a PA,
Yeah.
right? I mean, PA gets Deso, and yeah, that's all the secondary physical damage you need.
Yeah, and I mean the Brew and the Deuce. This matchup is a weird one. I feel like I've seen this one a lot, where it's sometimes the Deuce, it's like, oh my god, Deuce just killed all the Brewlings. But other
Yeah.
times too, it's just like, oh, Deuce has controlled the whole fight. She doesn't build BKB.
Right.
You're cycling the whole fight, and then your team's fighting without your strongest hero.
Yeah, it completely depends on, again, whether or not there's another hero that they feel they need to control. And
What's it gonna be?
okay,
Okay.
that's pretty safe. Okay, the Zai Underlord.
We were saying like they're going for strength, right? We mentioned on VP
Right.
strength heroes. Now we've got a percent base damage on Underlord as well.
Still, though, Underlord's not
10
Underlord's not the
seconds
hero that I
remaining.
think about when they lack damage. Therefore,
5
that's the pick.
seconds remaining.
It just get to late game then, right? Outscale, I guess, would be. Because they're
It's
lacking
just so
damage early,
dangerous.
but late game, if the Deuce and Slark get items, they will have damage. So if, if the Underlord can delay, I mean, the Firestorm just looks amazing, honestly.
But like,
It does look it's
oh,
going to do so much
MK,
damage.
oh my God, for the laning phase. I think VP can just roll here. Can't they?
I like VPs this time as well.
I-
I feel
I
like the
just-
Slark was greedy.
How do you play fast with this secret team?
Okay, so let's
How
say
do you
Se-
get onto the enemy
Yeah.
side of the map?
let's say the Secret can't play fast. Do they have what it takes to actually delay and get into the late portions of the game?
I don't think so. I think they can't. Even with an Underlord, I don't think they can play defense in this matchup. I really don't.
I just like this. I feel like the Slark is just like the X factor for me. I'm
Yeah.
not too. I'm just not too sure about this hero. And I saw like how successful he was in the last game. I'm kind of like doubting myself a little bit here.
Watch that Slark in the early game, but
Yeah.
I will take VP.
You're gonna take VP. How about you?
We are doing predictions then.
Yeah,
I will.
Nahaz pulled the cord.
I wanted to go VP too, but you know what? I'm gonna go VP actually. No, I like the
So both of
I like
our-
the I like the IO. I like the IO with the strength cores.
do
It feels like it just feels really strong when I saw it last time.
Both of you guys going with VP. Keep in mind, Slark may be that X factor. Secret, if they can pull this down, are almost going to be able to guarantee their spot in TI. A little bit of extra pressure on them, but one thing is for certain: no matter who wins, they are going straight to the grand final. Let's jump into the action.
Thank you very much, Rich. And yes, Lacoste, we are here. It is the final game of this upper bracket matchup. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Feeling pretty good. I'm excited. And you know what? Lo and behold, there's no pause this time around, so we can go right into the game. And I feel like, the panel is right on the point here. The IO combo together with the Luna, and then you go for these strength cores. It's dangerous. It's hard to kill. But is Underlord the answer? Are any of these heroes the answer?
When I first saw Luna, Io, plus I think it was support Sven, Navi ran it in one of the qualifiers. It was so effective. You get 2 points on level 3 in Lunar Blessing, and since both Io and Sven are strength heroes, they benefit so much from it. The tankiness, magic resistance, a little bit of it, damage as well.
Uh-oh, we need to remake the lobby. They can't tip. This is a serious problem, everybody. Yeah, but it does kind of have that feeling, doesn't it, where you just sort of barrel down a lane. You've already got a hero that helps make you more survivable in the Sven with the Warcry being used, and I don't know, could be deadly.
I'm just looking at the heroes. Team Secret's lineup might look like your casual Saturday Battle Cup stack, but man, Puppy sometimes look like a genius, or in the previous one, that Huskar pick, man, just it was not working.
Not what they needed. But they do go back to that Slark, which the panel was talking about as being that X factor. Is it going to be able to get enough, or survive the early game, I should say, as the runes are going to be traded off 2 apiece. And at least in this early going, it looks like they're going to be setting him top, where he's going to be up against the Brewmaster, and does have at least a secondary hero with him in the Grimstroke. But
Yeah, offlane one should have a better matchup against the Brewmaster, so maybe Virtus.pro needs to adjust a little bit.
I like that, by the way. That was nice. Appreciated it.
And we've seen Monkey Kings being considered as a counter for Medusa, because you just jump on her. Nice dodge. Hello, Frog.
You missed that one on the stream, but you do see that no one in the mid lane was able to dodge away from that Mystic Snake. So did not take any damage, did not remove any mana, and that's going to be something Nisha needs to deal with.
Maybe just fake it.
Yeah. Or possibly like throw it onto a creep, and then it gets a little bit hazy as to where it's actually and when it's actually going to hit. But it does look like already here. Deny coming out there from Roger. Nicely done. It's Zai and Yapsor down bottom with one in tow. Solo trying to punch here onto Yapsor, giving him the punches, but does not want to dive underneath the tower for that one. There's a whole creep wave pushing.
Yapsor with the Boots of Speed build. He's going to run out of the region. Has only 2 tangos left. I was talking about Monkey King against Medusa. We've seen different kills, kind of build into Monkey, Echo Saber, but he can also build into Diffusal Blade. He gets so much stats from it, it's insane.
And then the only real issue is going to be staying alive. And, well, we also have the IO there to help him out with it, as well as the Sven Warcry. So a lot of different ways to make sure that Monkey King doesn't get brought down in the fight. Looks like Pasha here is going to be able to get a little bit of contention for the side pull and then pull it back over to his creep wave if he so desires. Also can just block out that hard camp as a regen rune. Maybe taken there by Solo, but immediately broken by Yapzor. Zai getting the IO Spirits in the face. The block is coming. Zai need to walk away from that one. They have another Lucent Beam, the follow-up stun. These body blocks coming from Roger. He's fully encapsulated in. And they almost are finding that kill. Oof.
He's so tanky with the Stout Shield, mitigating a lot of damage, plus the Trophy Aura. Flask is going to get him to full HP. How's mid doing? 14. All right. 1, 2,
oh my God. Nisha
3.
trying to live and is going to be able to do so. That is a scary sight, though, as up here in the top lane, Pasha going to have to use that Drunken Brawler to walk away. So a lot of back and forth in all of these lanes, but no kills as of yet.
I think Pasha might be the one dying first, or the bottom lane. Underlord running out of region as well. Rubik still level 1, so he's pulling the creep wave, trying to get
oh my God,
telekinesis.
Again, no one right on top of Nisha, dodging away. It's gonna fall though. Nisha lives through it and gets the delivery right afterwards. The mischief was not enough. As down bottom, Yaps are also gonna be ran at. Is in some trouble. The Lucent Beams and the right clicks come through. A trade-off 1 for 1, but it's the bigger one. They were able to find that kill on the Monkey King.
The Fairy Fire value coming out from Medusa. Again.
Aye, taking the punches, and they're all on top of him, but the Atrophy Aura mixed together there with all of the regen and the fact that he had 8 stick charges, Zai knew his limits. At 2 points in Aura, it's really hard to take that fight.
Yeah, I love that Yapzor blocked this camp, the side one, so they can't pull on the bottom and get the most out of it. Luna getting closer to level 3, Sven level 2 only.
I guess that's something else to consider, is that this Lunar Blessing is significantly less effective when the main source of bonus damage is from Luna, which increases your base damage, and, well, that gets reduced by Atrophy Aura, so kind of a weird combination there.
You basically have no aura.
Yeah, it stops the aura. No one, counting to 4 again, but doesn't want to push forward. He learned his lesson last time.
I like how they picked Slark and Medusa this time. So they can't take maybe Slark against them, even though I'm doubting VP would have done that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really cool counter in the laning stage that we saw. So, speaking of laning stages, Solo is here in the mid lane, has that Invis rune. And if, well, he moves too far forward, no one just trying to bait this one out as long as possible. There's 2, there's going to be 3. It wasn't perfectly synchronized together, but Nisha still being ran at, and the TP rotation comes in from Yapzor. Nisha walking around the trees trying to escape. Is going to be able to live at least for now, but can they find him on the backside of this one? Monkey King going to drop, and again, not able to complete that gank with Virtus.pro.
They wanted to make something happen because Invis was running out on Sven, but Medusa had a really good positioning. She was not falling for it, and 2 points in Mana Shield kept her alive.
Face forward and trying to take down Yapzor again, missing with that last spirit from Roger. I don't know if they would have found the kill anyways. So they push back the Rubik and force him to retreat back to base, it looks like.
Early game looking good for Secret. Underlord getting a lot of levels on bottom lane, 2 points in Aura.
Whatever he can do to stay alive in that lane. If Underlord's living, I think they're okay with it. But meanwhile, no one starting to take the business. Doesn't dodge on that mischief either. The damage. Meanwhile, Pasha trying to put the hurt here onto mid one. Doesn't have mana for the Thunderclap, but does have a Mango. Now the stun down bottom. This is a lot of health to burst through from Zai. They have the secondary Lucent Beam coming out. He's trying to hide away into the trees. The rotation comes from Yapzor, pulls him underneath that tower. Zai still living, but will eventually be killed off in Solo. Looks like he can't live through all that damage either.
So much damage mitigation. A trophy aura, stout shield, even a casual ring of protection. He had one more tango to work with if he just wanted to cut through the trees and hide.
While that was all happening, they also lost the Brewmaster up top by virtue of the Slark.
And I love Slark's item build this game. He's playing solo right now, level 6, which means he does not need to go region. And Hand of Midas about to be completed on him.
That was a really good time on that one, for sure. And they move in again with the Spirits, trying to combo all of those together onto Zai. They're bringing him low. The Lucent Beams is still living through all of that right-click damage. As we will use the split in the mid lane, and now being able to control, seeing if they can kill off Nisha. The Primal Spring brings him down to the low ground. Nisha, realizing he's dead, just wants to finish off a couple more last hits. While bottom lane, they fully dive in there and find the kill on Zai as well.
Look at the HP on the heroes. Io with the 2 casual gauntlets of strength. It's going to turn into Soul Ring. 1200 HP.
Yeah, this is insane.
7 minutes in.
And they can just dive solo, loses vision for a moment onto Yapzor. They have the lift up, going to try and break that one. And the chase out, they still have vision because of that ward placed outside, and the right click's coming through. Does look like Yappy is going to eventually be brought down.
They need to get rid of this vision. I mean, Medusa is not really a hero that can contribute that much to a fight early on, and Slark went for Midas, good for him, which means that they need someone else to be active. Underlord, not very active hero. Grimstroke, level 4 only. Also Rubik, level 4, not that good, so they just need to survive early stage, and I think they're going to be fine.
And that's the thing, too. You sort of look at the way that this has gone. It's not necessarily what you would have expected, this Slark being on top in a 1v1 basically against the Brewmaster, but he's been able to have a really good time, particularly after finding that solo kill. Just a little bit less than 1,000 gold lead into the favor of Virtus.pro. We will start to see also the stacks coming out, I would imagine, from Secret, wanting to enable that Medusa to get maxed out. And, well, Solo coming into the area where you would see those stacks. Zai's going to try and be the blocker against that, but she's already hitting Ancients.
Yeah, Medusa's having fun. It's not the Dire Medusa, so she can't farm that quickly in the triangle. Still farms a lot. I don't see rotations coming out from Team Secret, which means that the bottom tower is going to fall. We've seen more and more Lunas just skipping Eclipse level 6 because you're not maxing out Lucent Beam, and if the lane is not going well, you max out Moonglaze, but if you want to fight with 1, 2, 3 strength heroes on your side, you just max out Lunar Blessing.
Good. Io's close to level 6 now also, so we could see a gank potentially. Monkey King skirting around the mid lane. Wants to set himself up also, but we'll just push out this creep wave. Well, up here top, they find the stun onto the Brewmaster. Does still have ulti, will get it off now. But they're able to force the ultimate, and Grimstroke kind of controlled for the moment. They're going to chase forward for this one, seeing if they can get the hit. There's going to be another Hurl Boulder. Puppy able to take the bounty rune, but they will claim his life. And maybe could even try and punch that courier there, as mid one wanting to chase. They have the Hurl Boulder yet again. Pasha very low, but will escape.
Brewmaster is a tough kill to get. He has Drunken Brawler, level 3, which means the cooldown is low, and he's pretty tanky, pretty speedy as well with the phase boots, and they don't have enough to lock him down. Also, Phantom's Embrace is level 2, so it means it only needs 2 hits to kill him.
Ramses kills off that catapult, and Roger will get level 6. So the relocate ganks can begin to happen, and this is one of the big things. We have not seen all that much IO. Oftentimes it happens with a Gyrocopter who has an incredibly good ultimate, and Luna's is pretty good, but as you mentioned earlier, no points right now in Eclipse makes it a little bit tougher. No one. Pops the Wukong's command onto Nisha, trying to kill him off pretty quickly. The Boundless Strike to turn it from the Rubik, but it was never going to be enough. They kill off Dusa mid.
Even though it's only 1k gold lead for Virtus.pro, they are controlling most of the map. Slark just trying to farm as much as possible with Hand of Midas. That means that he's not gonna join the fight that soon.
He got it very early and needs to be able to keep up and farm, but choice there by no one to jump off the tree before it was eaten by Slark.
Look at the HP on Io. 2 bracers, 1600.
You're loving it, man.
How do you kill this hero?
You hit it. You just punch it a lot, right?
I mean, Firestorm is percentage-based damage. Maybe that's how you kill him.
Yeah. Ramses farming out these stacks. That is one thing to consider if you're Secret. You potentially lose out on more, as they're going to go for the relocate in, seeing if they can kill off this Underlord, and Zai dies before the ulti completes. That's the power of the relocate.
I'm a bit worried for Team Secret's ability to engage a fight. Rubik does not have a Blink Dagger, nowhere near it. Grimstroke can't really start a fight. Slark does not have a Shadow Blade this time. Their heroes just can't engage a fight. You can only react to what Virtus.pro is doing, or try to turtle as much as possible. You have like 2 best heroes in the game. You have Medusa to hold the high ground. You have Underlord as well.
Even Rubik is good at pushing out those sidelines and buying yourself time. And meanwhile, the smoke up coming from the Brew and the Sven want to make something happen as they head towards mid. It's Yapzor that's there on the Rubik, hanging out and trying to farm up this creep wave. We'll be able to steal a Lucent Beam. Not what you would have wanted necessarily, but they will find Puppey stunned and caught down from the low ground. They will be able to turn this back around with the Phantom's Embrace as well as the Inkswell, but this was never going to be enough to keep him alive.
Lucent Beam level 1. That feels bad, man.
And then had Boundless Strike.
Yeah, Boundless Strike level 2 also not that effective on Rubik. No. They're just manning up, and they're going to go for Roche. I don't think Team Secret can't contest this.
Their heroes really don't do that much to take the fight right now. I mean, hypothetically, Zai can throw down a Firestorm, but Pit of Malice is just level 1 at this point. They are going to smoke up. They know that this is happening, and with the Stone Gaze walking forward, Zai is going to be the one out front. Right from the get-go, wanting to initiate onto them. Roche very, very low. They're moving into the pit now, and do have that Pit of Malice. Fakes it for the moment. They throw out the stun. Now stolen by the Rubik. Maybe this is what they need with the Firestorm already down. It's doing a good bit of damage, but they need to walk into that pit. Walking forward, trying to find it. Ramsey's able to get the Aegis, though, and he immediately kills off Zai, and now Secret. They need to get the hell out of here. This is problematic. More than half, and the chase forward, the good stun to try and interrupt. They're moving forward with the Primal Spring as well, and it looks like Dusa is gonna die.
Smoke.
Secret not doing what they need as mid 1 trying to pounce away, see if he can get out of here. The Inkswell, the bonus movement speed, everything they can throw out there as he gets the secondary Dark Pack, trying to TP away. Is he going to be able to escape? No. They kill him off, 4 dead. And VP, the iron fist of control on this game.
Yeah, and Roger's going to come back with Io, with the relocate. Not a full bottle, though.
Yapzor! Oh! Ramses.
Oof. It's not looking good for Team Secret. They will need to hold the high ground. They can't fight right now against Team Virtus.pro. Slark is going to have that Diffusal Blade. I don't think it matters that much, because Brewmaster, once they have a split, Medusa is going to be the hero that deals most of the damage in a team fight, so she's just going to get controlled by Storm Panda.
That's a huge problem. She needs to be able to stay alive, but if you go BKB at this point, it just feels terrible on a Medusa.
They're in problem, as I like to call it.
In problem.
Yep.
Well, again, the game plan does not feel like it's changed all that much for Secret. Stall out, push out the lanes, maybe find a pickoff or 2 if you can get a good initiation, but it's not easy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
This is not the kill that you want to get. At least it's something, but not very effective. And the VP, they still think they can fight.
Oh my god, they're just running in right now. Ramses feels like he's incredibly strong, and Secret going to try and take this fight willingly. They've already got the IO pretty low mid 1, goes into it and able to find that secondary kill. They take down the IO, and now Ramses is going to die. That's the Aegis. If mid 1 gets out right now, this is pretty solid, and maybe even Secret can try and take a little bit more as they're going to chase forward for Ramses. Wukong's command down on the low ground. They're already got the stun. They're able to find a kill. VP throwing away this lead that they've built. And now the slowdown with the Diffusal Blade there, and mid 1 might have gone finally a bit too far. Trying to run, trying to get out of there, and the Storm Hammer beats him down.
Oh, Warcry stolen from Rubik. Sadly for Virtus.pro, there was no Brewmaster in that fight. He has Vlad's finished. Is he gonna get a Blink Dagger? I hope so.
It feels like he needs to get up in the front of everybody there.
He has some BKB queued up. I can understand why. Against the Rubik, against the Grimstroke.
Nisha, that was a lot of creeps, and that's just to relocate.
You baited.
That's one of those things too, where it's, you know, playing against Io, it just changes the way that the game is played.
I mean, sometimes you gotta play greedy to make something happen. You need to play to win. If you're just stuck in your base, it's not gonna be that effective, even though they have a good way to deal with the push coming out from Virtus.pro, I think.
20 seconds till Dusa is back in VP with a 6,000 gold lead now. And Secret struggling to find the answers. As Ramses is going to finish off this double stack of Ancients as well. You think about how different that last couple of minutes would have looked if Dusa just finishes off that creep wave and then takes those Ancients herself. But now it's VP that steal away that farm and are keeping Secret stuck in their base.
I'm just thinking about HP. Io has 2,000 HP. Now when Sven uses a Warcry, he gets almost an extra 500 of, I'm talking about physical damage.
Yeah, reduction there.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the majority of what's coming out right now from Secret. I guess you could talk about Firestorm as well, but no Pasha right now with this 4-person smoke up from VP. They know that there's pretty much only one place that Secret could be right now, and that's in their jungle. And Nisha needs to get out of there. He's going to walk over towards the north, and it doesn't look like VP are going to see him, but they spot the ward, it looks like. The pings come out.
Yeah, a lot of the wards coming. That's how you play with Slark. You give him sentry wards. He has a Quelling Blade, so he always knows where the wards are. He just ran out of sentries.
In the meantime, there is some pressure onto the tier 1 tower by virtue of the creep wave that got pushed out. Hurricane Pike already done for Ramses. And VP constricting the map. This Luna is so incredibly farmed right now.
Oh yeah, Force Staff works against the Slark's bounce now.
Oh yeah.
So it's really good. Yappy, he has a Blink Dagger. Not the best spells he can steal, besides Brewmaster ulti and Warcry.
But even Brewmaster ulti now is so much harder to get because you can just Drunken Brawler right after the ulti.
Or just don't use it.
that's the other strat.
If you want to ruin a pub where someone's playing Rubik,
I don't.
And you're playing a 5-stack, you just don't skill anything.
I like that idea. That's solid. 20-minute mark, and Virtus.pro with a 6,000 gold lead are starting to knock on high ground. The lift up, in some trouble there for a moment, but the Io keeping him controlled. The Soulbind onto 2. Lots of damage being dealt up, but they've already lifted up that Medusa. They do have the Stone Gaze, still chasing for more. They want to kill for him. He was so close to going down, but mid one couldn't quite bring him there, and now they've got him caught. They've got him killed. He has buyback, but does not want to have to use it at this point in the game.
Yeah, they burned all his mana. Monkey King has that Diffusal Blade working towards a BKB. I think they're fine with this. Runes are spawning. Puppy TP to a shrine. He's going to pick up 2 runes, 2 for 2 trade. It's hard to break a high ground against the Rubik, Underlord, Medusa.
And, you know, for seeing that Medusa die earlier, she still is very, very farmed at this point in the game. Just 3,000 gold behind that Luna. Problem is that she just doesn't have the damage with that farm that she's gotten.
Virtus.pro is not going to try to siege the high ground until they get a Roche. Cheese and Aegis this time.
This is really the dream Luna game right now, though. Gonna finish off the Manta style here in a couple of minutes, it looks like. That's that recipe, I believe, coming out on the courier.
And we're getting closer to Death Star build. Aghanim Scepter Luna. Io is level 14. He just bought a tome.
Yeah, effectively
closer. Oh, yeah.
4,200 more effective net worth. This is going to be a very big problem. Does he have 4 points in Lucent Beam now? Yeah, he should. Yeah, he's good. And wherever he wants to go, they can go, and it just finished off a Radiance on Brewmaster. So that's the choice instead of BKB or the Blink Dagger. Pretty bold.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Because you're playing against the two heroes who rely on dealing physical damage, and they feel like they need one more core to scale into late game, because they're not going to be able to break the high ground that easily.
They have pretty much complete control over the map, farming wherever they want. Smoke up from 2 with the Grimstroke and the Rubik. See where they decide to go as they get the lift up there onto Sven, and wanting to try and take him down. They steal Warcry mid-1, dives deep for that kill, and does find it right from the get-go. Still hanging on to that Shadow Dance. He does back out.
Io could have saved him. He was in a range to use mech. It's a pretty big range.
Unfortunate there, they weren't able to quite save that Sven.
I mean, it's not the target that you want to save, especially if Team Secret overextends and then the fight comes. That's what Team Virtus.pro usually does. They try to bait out spells to be casted on solo. He buys back, and suddenly you lost 5 heroes.
Now it's gone. The thing I will say about this is Medusa, recognizing the danger of all the evasion that's going to come out, is going for the next item, MKB.
And there's already Radiance, Panda's Draken Brawler, Luna usually tends to go for a Butterfly. Yeah, she has one queued up at the moment.
Oh, and you can see right there pointing it out, only the one
Just kidding, it's a BKB.
stolen. Oh, he's got 4 there as well, looks like. But yeah, tough stuff.
741 stolen on Slark. Yeah, that's weird.
Not sure what that is exactly, but nonetheless, VP moving into the pit right now. And going to be happy to take this one down. I mean, it's so impossible to come and contest this right now if you're Team Secret. They have the Aghanims on Luna. This is like the ideal place to take that type of fight.
They're not reacting.
Yeah. Hold high ground, wait it out. You got a Midas, baby. Just keep it working.
Fine, they don't have the best catch for Slark, especially the Slark with the Blink Dagger. So he's gonna be the one split pushing. I expect the Underlord also trying to split push the waves, maybe buy some time. If they kill him while he's using Dark Rift, it's still fine. Slark farms, Medusa farms.
So that is going to be Aegis on to this Luna, who has already been just an impossibility to bring down. And has that Eagle Song in hand. Not quite up to the Butterfly yet. And mid-1, oh, with an Invis Rune. This could be kind of a nice little timing here if Roger separates from the Luna, but that is still an incredibly tanky Io.
Oh, jeez. On Io.
Separated. Right now, the Monkey King is up on the high ground, or on the low ground as well. They're trying to set up. Oh, and realizing that there's a Sentry Ward down. He might have caught sight of him there for a second. So it does look like VP now just going to move out, continue to constrict the map here, take down the tier 2 tower.
That's a lot of damage on that tower. Just kidding.
But the pressure that's going to come next, you got to be careful. Boundless Strike already catching, and now the Wukong's command with the Eclipse on top of all of them, starting to deal a ton of damage out there. The Absolar trying to run away, Warcry, which was stolen, but immediately taken off there. Had the Dispel Magic, so pretty nice as well, at least as far as their hold goes. And mid-1, able to get that Shadow Dance off. They're living through this one. Secret, able to survive.
They use Brewmaster ulti, they use Luna ulti, Sven as well, Monkey King, which means that they can't go on the high ground. Gabe, we might be stuck in this game for another hour, considering the heroes that are in the game.
Now that you just said that, it's pretty sure it's going to be over in 5 seconds.
I'm not Kyle, though.
That's true. Keeping our eyes on this Rubik. He has stolen Eclipse, wants to make something happen with this. And it is Solo that's there to break the smoke, and underneath the ward, they know where it's at. Solo just walks away. Secret can't do it. As that Observer ward is going to be taken down.
He reads maps so well.
He's always in the right place at the right time, it feels like. We need another ward guide. So, mid-1 right now, level 16. Dusa, 19, so we're getting close to those level 20 talents, and It does feel like Medusa's could make a bit of a difference in this game. Has the MKB completed for Medusa? Going for the Hurricane Pike next.
If they can just get away once Luna uses ulti, survive that through the initial burst, they have a lot of sustain. Crimson Guard on Underlord, a Trophy Aura.
Looks like VP has had enough with creeps in the base, and Ramsey's ready to start beating away at this tier 3 tower. They have the lift up the Soulbind. They don't want to connect him to anybody else as of yet. Ramsey's just going to be brought down. Do they decide to go for a second round here? Io's going to be able to get the tether to it immediately. There's going to be the Force Staff away. And that's just Aegis down.
They need to respect the high ground defense of Team Secret right now.
Could open with a Boundless Strike in a second if they're not careful. They're going to use the Primal Split and walk up onto the high ground. There's the initiation coming out. The great Pit of Malice rooting all three of them. Is it going to be enough, though? The Lucid Beams, oh my god, they're laying down fire from on high. They kill off the Grimstroke, but is it going to be enough? They have taken down that tier 3 tower already. The Stone Gaze, well, the Stolen Eclipse doing a good bit, thrown back the other direction. Luna's out of mana for the moment, but the cheese comes, and now they're immediately back up again, trying to walk away. They're taking down. Mid 1 ends up being killed off by Ramses.
Mid 1 has no buyback.
45 seconds on the sideline. The big Boundless Strike catches them as well, and this Luna is well and truly completely out of control. They have the Stormhammer, but it doesn't matter. A triple kill for Ramses. This Luna is a monster and wants to keep this one going. They're chasing. Pit of Malice down yet again. Could decide to turn if they want to, but with those buybacks, they might feel comfortable with the lead that they've gotten.
Tier 3 tower is down if they want to reset, but it's more safe to just back off. Lanes are pushing in, which means a lot of farm for Virtus.pro. How many? 1, 2, 3 buybacks on side of Team Secret.
And this is the type of thing where everybody is talking about how Virtus.pro has become so much more just respectful of the potential counterplays, more cautious. And it doesn't feel like it's the type of game where it's necessarily going to come back to bite them, as they have been able to play around the movements that Secret have made over and over and over again.
They don't have any kind of magic resistance.
Look at this, Midland's dying. He's dying to, he might have to, oh my god.
Problem is no magic resistance. Once Monkey King jumps in, or Brewmaster gets a Blink Dagger and they pop that Aghanim Scepter ulti from Luna on a target, he didn't go for Lucent Beam damage.
Unbelievable. I mean, stats are pretty good. Let's be real. So the BKB is done. Roche still capable to respawn. 2.5 minutes. Just look at that net worth. Ramsey's soaring above everybody. He's had the easiest game of his life. 5-0-14.
The problem right now for Team Secret is if one of those heroes, let's say an Underlord dies, he's their base defense besides Medusa. If somehow VP manages to kill him, this game could just end.
In a flash. And VP wanting to make it right now as they mush up onto high ground, and Underlord trying to slow it down. The Pit of Malice there again, onto 2, stealing Stormhammer, not that bad. Zai trying to walk away. They have the Stone Gaze out as well, but Medusa out of mana. And now having to back out. They've gotten what they came for, though, it looks like, is already those melee barracks going down. On the other side of it, though, it was a DD picked up for mid 1. He has that Blink Dagger and could think about chasing here, but it's too far away.
VP is just gonna keep repeating this. Split with the Brew.
Jump forward, mid 1, finds himself the Monkey King. That DD put into work, but they're able to get the tether, and now the walk away. Relocate, pulls out that IO. And it looks like they want to try and secure the kill on the return.
Roger. Yeah, they're just gonna leave him.
So the first kill in a very, very long time for Team Secret. But it's not the one they wanted.
VP has everything they need. Brewmaster, Primal Split on cooldown for 60 seconds. Once it's available, I expect them to go mid and try to repeat what they've just done. He uses a split, they use Luna ulti, just to buy some time, and Luna focuses the buildings.
Nisha has that level 20 talent now. They're going to be able to take down this tier 2 tower. VP, again, respecting the strength that Team Secret has without their IO present or the Sven. And what are Secret going to be able to do here? They jump forward up on a high ground, mid-1. Feeling like he needs to make a play. The big Boundless Strike connects onto 2. They have the Pit of Malice down as well. Secret actually doing a little bit of damage here, and they're going to be able to go for the Dark Rift afterwards.
It's one of those, we're going to push, just getting back to base. It's the safest place to be for them.
In the base. Well, it was a good amount of damage done to the tier 3 tower there mid. Brought down to about a 3rd HP. But it is feeling just like this impossibility in dealing with a Luna that is so incredibly farmed by Ramses.
Yeah, Roche will respawn in 2 minutes. No buyback on Luna, 40 gold short.
But it feels like it all has to start for with a one fight for Secret if they're going to make it happen. How do you win that fight?
It's going to be tough, man. If they just use everything before Team Secret engages, Wukong's command, Brew split to control the backline, Yule Scepter Medusa. This is a good pickup. I love it. Black King bar on Medusa, so the Brew can't do what he wants to do.
Maybe a bit of an answer there, but we're seeing that.
And she can stand the ground against the clips.
That's one of the nice things about it. Mid-1 there. Doesn't end up getting hit by the Lucent Beam. They have the Cinder Brew on him. Looks like they are not going to decide to fully engage onto that one as they're set up to run down the mid lane yet again. Zai up front and center. Nisha in that bulwark against the pressure coming from Virtus.pro and throws out the Hurricane Pike. The walk away. God, and now Io has the 150 GPM talent too, so he can really start getting into some of these big items.
VP knows that Roche is going to be spawning soon, and if they lose a fight, they need to buy back. Could easily lose if things go wrong, so they're just going to respect that and wait for Roche to spawn.
Yeah, the buybacks have been so crucial in these Roche fights, and already Secret have had to use 3 of them. Still on cooldown for 2 minutes. They are about 1,000 or gold away from a buyback being there on Medusa. Io doesn't have a buyback right now, which could be a bit of a concern, although he should have it with that GPM talent before too long. Moving in, mid-1, Pit of Malice is already down. Solo goes to that initiation, the 4-staff, ends up connecting with a 2-person stun.
Their only way of starting a team fight is Slark blinking in and trying to force a reaction from VP.
It doesn't feel like the most reliable thing in the world, does it?
Oh, yeah.
And just like that, they're going to be able to move into the pit here. And Secret not in position to come and contest this. They don't have their shrine that they can TP to. This should be an easy Aegis.
That's a refresher shard. It's so good on Brewmaster this game. It's good on Monkey King to get the 2nd ring.
Pretty good on Luna too.
Yep.
Double BKB. Double Eclipse.
Good on every single hero. Besides Io maybe.
Well,
they're going to go high ground.
VP ready to walk forward and take this one down. It's a lot of damage being dealt here under Ramses. They want to try and burn through that Aegis, but couldn't quite get the pounce. Now the lift up, the mech healing. Pretty nice there to start, at least from the get-go. And now the Stone Gaze chasing forward for more, trying to kill off this Brewmaster. If they can keep this one alive, they might be able to take it down after he comes out of his ultimate, but it's a long time before that. BKB is out already. The Eclipse is there, mid-1, able to kite away from this one. Not terrible for Secret as of yet. They're only able to seal the Lucent Beam, though, and now up here towards the north, they take down Puppey, and this is where things start to fall apart for Secret as Virtus.pro are just going to walk forward. They need to be able to chase forward for this one. They use that glyph as well. Nisha still just trying to lay into him, but she's only tickling. These heroes have so much HP, all the regen in the world. They pop the refresher, turn to fight. Nisha realizes he's in trouble. He needs to be careful there. Mid-1 buys back, moves into position. And look at the damage on the mid-1. He didn't stand a chance.
No buyback, 200 gold short. They're just going to go
and
for
look
tier
at him.
4s.
This one is feeling like it's falling apart. Ramses is a complete and total monster. They dot their I's, they cross their T's, and it looks like VP are going to go back to base there for a second. The relocate's coming again. Secret do not have the answers. Chase forward coming from no one, trying to do what they can. Sven buying a Stormhammer, coming back into this one, and Virtus.pro are, well, chasing forward yet again. Nisha, he doesn't handle it. Chase forward, BKB is there, into the fountain. Nisha trying to live. Virtus.pro with no regard for human life are going to be able to find that secondary kill. The buyback coming from Nisha yet again, diving into the fountain, but GG is called, and Virtus.pro are again going to the grand finals.
Oh man. Team Secret, they did not have a reliable way to engage a team fight, and in my opinion, way too greedy draft. You have Underlord, who needs so much time to come online, Medusa, and Slark.
It was a very impressive showing from Virtus.pro as they are playing at full strength now again. Solo actually back in the crowd, and you can hear the crowd here still giving the love. The Russian team that are going to be in the grand finals.
Man, this tri-lane, Luna, Io, +1 strength hero, especially Sven, where he boosts the HP even more. That's so sick. We're gonna need to see that more.
I think so, definitely. I mean, I don't know if people are going to be letting Io through again after this one, to be perfectly frank, but it's something to keep our eyes on. And the other thing to keep in mind, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw these two teams in the grand finals again facing off against each other. I think it's completely likely.
Oh, they showed that they're a bit up over the other teams, and I know my boy Richard is going to be happy about Sven's item build. There was a meme hammer in the end. He dropped it, not very effective, but still, good showing.
Definitely. Very, very impressive showing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to finish it off for us today. We do have one more time going back to the panel, see what they thought about that series as we get ready for the final couple of days here.